Wow, that was kind of emotional, actually. Miigwech Tad. It's really an honor for me to be here tonight. My name has a way of ending up on these lists, and I always hope that I can live up to some of these lists. I remember I was the graduate of the decade for St. Cloud State University, and I'm reading through all of the list of people that were being honored that night, and it was Jim Graves was one of them, and there was another, just some really important people, and I was the marketing director at Grand Casino at the time, and I thought, what the hell am I doing on this list? And I looked through, and one of the guys was a 8th grade teacher in Sartell, and I thought, oh, there you go, I'm at least comparable to one of these guys on the list. Then I kept reading, and it turns out he was a referee for the NFL that got to spend every Sunday on the gridiron, so I felt terrible. But again, and that's kind of how I feel tonight, just some great stories, great things that folks are doing, and I hope I live up to that and belong on that list someday. So I do want to congratulate Daniel, Tom, and Eric for their awards. And also good friends of mine, people that made me really feel welcome, John and Chris, congratulations on your award. My ICLV family, you guys welcomed me in to the fold here and to the network here in St. Paul, and I really appreciate that, and congratulations to you guys. I'd also like to recognize my family. They've played a pivotal role in a lot of the success that I've had in my career, and I'm happy that my wonderful parents, my dad, Joe Sr. and Rita are here with me tonight, as well as my wife, Chris, and our oldest daughter, Bella. We have 2 younger daughters at home. They do have a babysitter. They're not just chilling, watching SpongeBob or whatever. I also want to thank my fellow coworkers, business partners, and friends that have also joined us in celebration to help support the North Star Council's Exploring program. And finally, I extend my gratitude to the North Star Council for this great honor to be named the 2015 Community Builder Award recipient. Means a great deal to me. Part of the North Star Council's mission is to prepare young people to be leaders and individuals of strong character. One of the ways this council does this is through the Career Education Exploring program, where young people learn what it takes to become productive members of today's workforce. I connect with this mission of the North Star Council and the purpose of the Exploring program on a deep level. As an Ojibwe man, or as a Nayqanabe people, we are guided by cultural values that are rooted in our history. These values, love, wisdom, respect, honor, bravery, humility, and truth, form the foundation of our lives and the core of our character. Like the North Star Council, the Mille Lacs Band too is focused on developing the next generation of leaders, and I personally have benefited greatly from the wisdom and generosity of those who came before me and spoke encouragement and guidance into my life. Growing up on the reservation in central Minnesota, I was surrounded by adults who wanted to see me and all young Ojibways grow up to succeed. They would speak in truth if they saw us headed down the wrong path, and I did that a lot. Tracy, Sam can attest to that. They had the courage to be involved and help me find my way. They had compassion to be a guide and a mentor. My father, Joe Nayqanabe Sr., is an example of one guide and mentor in my life. He's a drum keeper, as Tad mentioned, which is a sacred position of importance within our tribe, because drum keepers help us keep our culture, our traditions, and our way of life strong. The impact that my father has had on my life is immeasurable. He used to bring my brother and I to class with him at St. Cloud State University. He went back in his 40s to get his degree to set an example for all of us kids that education was important. And he taught me the importance of education and that it was never too late to keep learning. This life lesson allowed me to do some exploring of my own, and Tad mentioned some of that, from lobbying on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., to starting my first internship at Grand Casino, all the way up to accepting this position as the Commissioner of Corporate Affairs for the Mille Lacs Band. I've never been afraid to take a chance. I knew if my dad could take a chance and go back to school, after all those years, I should be able to take risks too. So it was just a great example, and I thank you for that, Dad. Another mentor who provided guidance to me is Melanie Benjamin, our chief. She noticed my potential way before I even did. She encouraged me to explore my interests and pursue my education, even if it meant that I had to leave the community for a little while. And I'm also proud to call Tad a mentor. I would bang on his door. I'd throw a suit and tie on, and I'd walk around the government center. The only guy that does that. If you come to the Mille Lacs Band, it's a pretty casual environment. But I'd throw a suit and tie on, and I'd just bang on his door until I could convince him to send me to Washington, D.C., and he did. He's one of the busiest professionals that I know, but yet he always has time for the greater good. Those are just a few examples of how the path of my life has been forever changed by those willing to foster leadership abilities within me. I recognize the need to pay forward to the next generation. Today, the statistics in Indian country are daunting. Native families face a poverty rate of more than double the general population. There are significant educational disparities as well, with far fewer Native people earning high school degrees or college diplomas. In fact, high school diplomas, college degree. In fact, I checked on the statistics for Native American youth in scouting just in the North Star Council. Less than 1% of participants are Native American. I share this because we must demonstrate compassion and use our leadership to begin to create change for Indian people, just as leaders once took an interest in me and set me on a good path. Native Americans make up a little over 2% of the U.S. population, yet 1/3 of our population nationally are children under the age of 18. I think this is a cool thing because that represents a significant opportunity to shape and mold the future for tribal nations by focusing on developing the leadership potential of our young people. We need more involvement in Indian country by leaders of all types, but especially we need to continue to develop the leadership of young Native Americans who can show the way to their peers. That's why this award means so much to me. I appreciate that what the mission of the Northern Star Council stands for. I feel a personal sense of mission when it comes to developing not only my own leadership skills, but the leadership of my fellow Mille Lacs Band members. Thank you for all that you do to invest in the lives of young people. Thank you for the great honor of giving me this award, and thank you for allowing me this opportunity to tell you about what the importance of leadership means to me. Miigwech, thank you.